Hello and welcome to episode 224 of Fergo and the Freak. I'm that bloke from Rugby League Project, Andrew Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter at AndrewRP. Joining me as always is the splendid League Freak. You can find on Twitter at League Freak. How you going there, mate?
I'm good, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. What's been going on?
Not much. I feel like you've got something to say, though, hey?
Well, I do.
Yeah.
But before I get there, you've got something to say about
Yeah.
Manscaped.
Well, Manscaped is fantastic. They've got the best technology if you want to shave your scrot. So if you go to manscaped.com and you put in our exclusive code for our listeners, which is NRL, not only do you get 20% off, but you get free shipping. You go there. I recommend the Lawnmower 3.0. Like, I call it the cutting edge, and there's a reason for that. Because if you want your balls so smooth that all the ladies will just be, like, dazzled by them, you get the Lawnmower 3.0. They will love them. They'll be like, I just have to put them in my mouth. So go to manscaped.com, put in the code NRL, 20% off. She'll have to.
There we go. And on that note, let's get into this.
Okay.
You found an article,
Yeah.
literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Please explain the contents of this article.
Well,
Because I want to have a yarn about it.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Now, I've done my entire, you know how you've got a month to read 4 articles or some shit?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to send it through to you because I know you'll be able to read it because I can't read it. I must have read, like, I don't know, some of the fucking kissing up that Danny Widler did to Sonny Bill Williams at some point. So I can't actually read this article, but the headline caught my eye.
I thought you might have you've been reading all of the Rebecca Judd articles.
Does she do articles?
No, people just talk about her going to the groceries and what she had for dinner.
Okay.
All right, people. Disrespectful. Tigers boss has not kissed and made up with Cleary. And my first thought was, oh, the Tigers playing Penrith this week. Yes, they are. And the article says, West Tigers chief executive Justin Potato has revealed he has still not spoken to Ivan Cleary since he, in quotation marks, disrespected the club by walking out to coach his son at Penrith. It's been more than 18 months since Cleary departed the Tigers for the Panthers, but there's still plenty of emotion existing between the Western Sydney clubs as they plan to lock horns again on Saturday night.
There is?
Right. Let's just start with this, okay? If you're Ivan Cleary, do you want to kiss a potato? Of course you fucking don't.
No. We're recording this at 12:30 a.m. and I know somewhere in the Penrith district, Ivan Cleary's lying in bed and he's just looking at the roof going, man, I'm just so unhappy with how things are going right now. I really wish I could have sorted things out at the Tigers. Ah, damn it.
I wish Potato would call. He's got my number. Why won't he call?
Why won't he call? Let me just check my phone and see if he's texted me. No, he hasn't texted me. I'll just look. Let me see now. Hang on a second. No, it still hasn't texted me.
Maybe he's on. Maybe it's on Twitter. Let me just check my DMs. No. I haven't got open DMs. He probably doesn't follow me. Let me just get open DMs going there.
Let me check.
Still
WhatsApp.
nothing.
Is it on WhatsApp? Wait a minute. What's happening on TikTok? Ah, there's my boy.
Maybe he's on OnlyFans.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I hope not.
And then he goes, oh, there's my boy. Wow, you didn't get that from Data. God, this is garbage. So this pretty much says that Justin Potato has spoken to the media about this,
Yes.
and he's still sooking like a fucking bitch over it.
Yeah.
Justin, word of advice, mate. Shut the fuck up. Move on.
It's probably not a real good time to bring this up when the Tigers are not in a real good place right now.
Playing shit.
Yeah, and the Panthers are in the complete opposite place, and they're about to play each other. And there's no real, there's nothing from the Panthers side. Like, it's not like the Panthers have anything against the Tigers in any way, shape, or form. And so to give them some sort of motivation, like, what is he doing? It reminds me, remember when Andrew Chalmers, who used to run the New Zealand Rugby League, said that the Australian Rugby League team looked vulnerable, and then Australia went and scored like 56 points or something on New Zealand soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have to do a live show for this game now. More than ever.
I'm up for it.
And Ivan, if you're listening, and the Penrith gets out to an expected win and a comfortable one, please, I beg of you, blow kisses to everyone you can see in the stand there. And when the camera pans to the coach's box, put up a little sign that says, "Hi, Justin, fuck you."
It would be...
Just rub that salt in that wound, because you're just living in his head for rent-free at the moment.
It would be even better if he holds up a sign that says, "Justin, I forgive you."
Or just, "I love potatoes."
Yeah. He goes down and sits on the sideline. Like, it's 10 minutes into the second half. The Panthers are up by, 40 or something. And he just starts eating fucking potatoes out of a sack.
Just raw ones.
Raw, they're just unpeeled everything. Just
everything he does. Every time the camera pans, he then have, a packet of Smith's crisps, and he's just eating the original flavoured ones.
He's
making sure he's eating the original ones because they're salty.
And the thing I want to see him, I want him to put on sunglasses. And I know the game's at night, but I still want him to do it just to be absolutely. A douchebag.
Yeah, absolutely. And just sitting there chewing on hot chips with a bit of sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Just constant. Every time he's there, he's just eating another potato product. Cake.
I would go as far as to say I wouldn't be upset if he breaks COVID protocol and just starts going around the sidelines to all the fans, just high-fiving them. 2 weeks out, we'll see how they go without him, super coach. But he's just high-fiving everyone, $20,000 fine coming up, and he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Also, if you're up in the coach's box, Ivan, get a few pot plants in there, just to show the biggest pot plant of all, Justin Potato, that you are comfortable sitting in a room with pot plants, because that will just make Justin Potato really jealous.
Well, he's already got Trent Barrett next to him, so I
wouldn't say he's a pot plant. He's a bit more of a doorknob.
Yeah, with dreamy eyes.
With dreamy eyes. He's got that going for him, I'll give him that. Which does lead me very quickly on, because we didn't know what we were going to talk about here. Trent Barrett's gone inside Blake Green for the Bulldogs next year.
Yeah, he did it apparently before he absolutely blew the fuck out of his 33-year-old knee.
That makes the signing somehow better.
I don't understand that, because, the Warriors went and told Blake Green a couple of weeks ago, "Blake, we don't want you next year." And then Blake stormed his way up the M1, I guess, up to Newcastle, did nothing, blew out his knee. But lucky for him, Trent Barrett had signed him to be a replacement for Foran. And I've got to say, if he's a replacement for Foran, he's doing it exactly as Foran would.
Yeah, the first thing I thought when this happened was, if I'm the Bulldogs and my two options are Foran or Green, I'm sticking with Foran.
I think I would too.
Because at least when he's on the field, there's a fair chance you're going to get a win. Yeah. I don't think that Blake Green's the match winner. I'd be signing to be in the halves.
No, I think he's garbage. There's so many people have said to me, "Oh, he was playing good." I was like, when?
I don't know. He's Jeff Robson 2.0.
He really is. That's the best way to put him. That's exactly where to put him. I think that he is a little bit more. He's not going to do anything that's going to screw you up.
No, he's not going to do anything to cost you a game of footy.
No.
Okay. Yeah. But he's also not going to do anything to win your game of footy.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
You'll probably get 1, maybe 2 man of the match performances out of him every year.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be it. He's got a pretty decent kicking game. That's,
and it's been getting really bad. Let's face it.
Yeah.
I always think that when you've got a team like the Warriors, and people saying, "Oh, he's the guy that sort of holds their playmaking together," and then he leaves, and you got a youngster comes in and they actually get better, I always think that's a pretty big red flag.
Yeah. Something else in this article.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're now going to get into Tigers bashing now, so fuck it.
Yeah.
There's been reports that the Tigers only have $300,000 to spend in the cap next year, but Potato said that's completely wrong. While he could not confirm the amount, it's understood the Tigers have just north of $1 million available for 2021. So how come the media, on one hand, have been repeating reports, they're the words of the Sydney Morning Herald, that they only have $300,000, but also saying that it's understood the Tigers have just north of $1 million?
Yeah, it's a big discrepancy, isn't it?
Make up your mind, media. Is it 300 grand or $1 million? You're running two fucking arguments here.
It's got to be closer to $1 million. I mean, if you think about what they wanted to offer Latrell Mitchell last year, and I know some of that money was taken up, but you would think that it's got to be close to $1 million.
I think it'd have to be close to $1 million, especially when you consider that you got Chris Lawrence is retiring. I mean, he wasn't on huge coin. He took a pay cut his last deal, which was for a year. Benji's retiring as well. I mean, between those two, it'd be close to 400 grand freed up there.
Mm-hmm.
So if they've got 300 grand at the moment free,
yeah,
and you take those two retirements out of it, I mean, you've almost got 700 grand there. And there's surely going to be a few more players off contract, so it's going to be close to $1 million. But there's another quote in here. It's from Moses and Bai.
Okay.
And
you mean your captain? I'm sorry. That was very cruel. I'm sorry, Andrew.
That was harsh.
I know. I'm sorry.
That was harsh. But yeah, that prick. He was suggesting that all big earners at struggling clubs will forever be in the firing line.
Yeah. That's what the money's for.
Well, this is the thing. If the highest earning players were earning their wage, they wouldn't be at a struggling club.
Well, how about this, right? You think about this. One of the biggest deals in rugby league history was the deal that Jason Taumalolo signed, right? 10 years. It was basically a lifetime contract. 10 years, $1 million a year. Nobody's talking about how much money he's earning while the Cowboys struggle. Not one person.
Nope.
But they're talking about Moses and Bai because he is earning nearly $1 million and he's not the best player in the Tigers side at any single position on the field. And he's a reserve grader.
He somehow managed to get away to secure his place in the team by somehow being made captain. Because that's the only reason why I can see he still gets picked, is for some reason he got made captain.
That and how much he earns. These coaches don't like dropping guys that are on big coin.
Yeah, they've got Packer, this bloke, and Reynolds. They're the three who are on massive money at that club. And between the three of them, they're on over $2 million. That's a lot of money on players who have barely played for much of their careers at the Tigers. A lot of money.
Still, I think it's very disrespectful what Ivan Clearys did.
The leaving to be with his son?
Yeah.
Or the not kissing and making up? Because, I mean, he did blow kisses.
All of it.
Potato could assume that those kisses he blew were for him.
Yeah. Well, everything seems to be about Potato.
Maybe Ivan should come out and say, those kisses I did blow were for you, Justin. I wonder how Justin Potato would take that. Because that would just rub salt in the wound. But, you know, Potato might think, oh, well, that's nice.
Imagine if they just left, like, 150 kilos of salt in the back room of the change rooms.
Is this game at Penrith?
I feel like it is. I might be. Let's see.
You know what I'd do? I just put a table, a whole table full of sacks of salt containers in the middle of the changing room for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's at Penrith Footy Stadium.
Oh, there you go. I'd be definitely doing that.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities. I hope they do them all. Like Ivan Clearys, I feel like normally wouldn't be the sort of dude to do that. I would be, if they get up to a big lead early on, I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the sidelines at about the 60th minute, just, smiling and shit.
You know what I'd like to see? I reckon the biggest bitch move ever is that Panthers get out to a lead, and after about 60 minutes, Ivan Clearys just goes home. These players don't even need me to coach them. They can beat this team whenever the fuck they want, however the hell they like. They don't need me.
That would be the most gangster move ever, wouldn't it? If like the assistant coach comes out and he's at the press conference and he says, "Man, Ivan went home like 45 minutes into the match. He said he'd already done his job."
When they come to the post-match press, they say, "Where's Ivan?" I went, "Oh, he's on the phone here."
Yeah.
I put him on, and he's just on Skype, and he's got the video on, and he's just sitting back in his grand recliner at home with a beer in his hand, watching the game on TV. Yeah. He does his presser from there.
Or even better, he's like, "Oh, I was just catching up on the end of Iron Chef on a fucking SBS. I love this fucking show. It's really good."
The food puts up a bigger fight than the Tigers did tonight.
Yeah. That'd be great.
This needs to happen. Come on, Ivan.
Come on, Ivan. Go down to them sidelines, son, and sunglasses.
Yeah. And then actually do the sideline interview with the team at Fox Sports on the hour mark and just say, "Thanks for the chat. I'm actually going to go home now. See ya." And that way they'll actually follow him as he goes out the car park.
To his car, yeah. That'd be awesome. And what type of car do you reckon Ivan Clearys drives?
Oh, Bentley.
Bentley. Oh, shit.
That's what all the rich people are on, aren't
they? Yeah, you think so.
He'd have one of those $400,000 Mercedes that James Hooper likes jumping on. Talking about.
I do feel as though he would have a really nice car. I wonder what sort of car his son has.
Oh, Nathan doesn't have a car. He's got a booster seat in the back of his old man's car, hasn't he?
What if his dad has like a murdered Kia Carnival, and in the back is a booster seat for fucking Nathan?
Actually, what I'd like to see is Ivan's just got one of those old Holden Kingswood Utes. It's just got the bench seat in the front. It's just him and Nathan in the front, and sometimes his mum's on the other side, and Nathan's just sitting in the middle.
Yeah, I like that. And fucking Nathan just sits between the two of them playing Fortnite on his phone, in between making TikToks.
Yeah. That's got to be brilliant. Oh, man.
It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm actually looking forward to just seeing what happens in the coach's box more than anything.
Yeah, same here. It's one of those games like, if Penrith plays okay, they should win by a fair margin. If they turn it on, it could be absolutely anything. And I feel as though it's one of these games where things could really properly. You know how there's some games where a bad team just falls apart and that's the end of their year? I feel like this might be the game for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think they probably had that a few weeks ago, to be honest. I think the Tigers should be competitive in this purely because Kickout's not there.
Yeah, so that's massive. Yeah,
we saw earlier in the year when Kickout didn't play how it impacted the Panthers' attack a fair bit. Because a lot of their attack comes off the back of the work he does, both on the ball and off the ball.
Yeah, just as a threat, even.
Yeah. And because he started roving a bit more into the middle, it's really opened up the Panthers' attack across the field.
Mm-hmm.
And because that impact's not there at the moment, it's not going to help the Tigers win, in my opinion, but it's going to help them stay in the game and stay within touch with Penrith for at least an hour of the game. They're not going to win. They're not even going to get close to winning. But, no. I think after an hour, it could be something like 22-12 or something like that to Penrith. And so there'll be that opportunity.
Yeah.
The Tigers could still be in the match and could still win, but I still think the Penrith will run away with it in the final 20.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's the low end of the scale I'd like to see from Penrith. Like if they had a win like that, I'd be like that. Some games they can't all be like superstar games. Some games you just got to put the 2 points away. And I can't believe I'm saying this about Penrith. Like it's the most un-Penrith shit I've ever said. Normally it's like, are we going to lose the next 4 games in a row? But yeah, I think that it's the sort of game where they need to put in a solid performance, but if they hook it up, it could get a bit rough for the Tigers.
The biggest risk that the Panthers are going to have is going to come from Luciano Lailua, because he's been killing it out on the edge there this year. And thing is, he's been parked out on the edge. Mm-hmm. So those young centres that the Panthers have got, they're going to get targeted a fair bit by Lailua. He's
been a great signing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
I remember being pretty happy with it too at the start of the year. A lot of people were thinking that he was fat and lazy and slow and useless, and I just said, no, you can't have that frame and be good and be poor. Also, I mean, he managed to force his way onto a bench in a very strong Dragons pack, and they had a lot of good depth there as well.
Yeah, and I always liked him when he was playing for the Dragons. I don't want to sound like Phil Gould saying, I always knew this was going to happen. But whenever he was playing for the Dragons, and it was a little bit sporadic because they did have that depth, but I just liked what I saw out of him. And I think that what we're seeing this year out of him is those best performances that he had at the Dragons. He's done that, but he's done it consistently. And just one of the best signings in the whole NRL, I think.
Definitely up there. He's dropped a few kilos, not many, but enough to make him just that little bit faster off the line. And look, all Lailuas are absolute powerhouse runners.
Yeah.
Put the ball in their hands and just say, look, just hang on to it and just try and run over as many humans as you can. Mm-hmm. And they do that really well. When they try and pass the ball, that's when you go, ugh.
But he doesn't have that brain explosion sort of thing as his brother does either. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So that's probably the only area that the Panthers need to worry about. And I dare say that's pretty much what they're going to be focusing heavily on, is trying to... You can't really shut down players like that in the form they're in. All you can do is try and minimise their impact. Mm-hmm. So the best thing to do there is to gang up on either side of him so that he doesn't have any offload options, and then just try and get 2 defenders to slow him down.
Yeah, I think... Look, the other thing I think to watch for in this game, I wouldn't be shocked if they align Liam Martin up on Benchy Marshall all night. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they say to Martin, look, go looking for him. Don't stay on one side of the field. Because, I mean, that's just, if I'm the Tigers, that's the last thing I want. And it would have been Kickow, but without Kickow there, I think Martin's the guy who... he's a different sort of player, but he's just one of those players that looks really horrible to tackle. Like Michael Hancock, he was just horrible for people to tackle. No one liked that when he was running at them. And I feel like Martin's like that, but as a forward.
No, it's very true. Very true. He's been in bloody good form too of late. There's someone else there. There was talk that, Harry Grant's back for this game as well for the Tigers.
Well, that's handy for them. I mean, they have desperately missed him. Brian O is back, so he's on the wing. They actually moved Brent Naden into the centres and dropped Tyrone Mate to the bench, which is cool. So it's really good to see Brian O back.
And no Api Coruscant either.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot made of that. I think because he was missing earlier in the year as well. I think there'll be that he adds a definite edge to their attack, but they go okay without him too.
Yeah. So I'd say this is probably the most beatable Penrith could ever possibly be if they're up against a top 3 or 4 team. Mm-hmm. They're not. And I've said it before, the Tigers are not a top 9 team this year.
That's why you're an expert.
So I'm an expert. I guarantee you. I'll say this. I guarantee you, the Tigers will not finish ninth this year.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. It's nice to see Elijah Taylor back on the bench for the Tigers, isn't it?
No.
I can't believe he's still playing.
I can't believe we ever signed him.
I know. When you signed him, I was like, oh man, that's one of those signings.
No disrespect to Elijah. He tries hard, but he's just a defensive player.
Yeah.
He offers nothing in attack.
Yeah.
He's not a threat with the ball in hand. And he's played too many games at the Tigers as a hooker, which is just stupid.
You know, it's crazy. I'm looking at the Panthers site. The 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st players they've got. Like 18, Dane Laurie, who he's going to be great at some club. He's going to pick him up. Reserve number 19, Kurt Capewell. Reserve number 20, Matt Burton. Like, they've got so much depth. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, what about, number 20 for the Tigers, Josh Reynolds?
That is pretty handy. Chris Lawrence there, an 18th spot.
Yeah. No. Oh, God. See, they've got Moses and By at centre, and he's going to be up against Brett Naden. Fuck me, that's a mismatch. Because By can't read defences, and Naden just runs through defences.
Yeah, that could be really, really bad. Like Naden is one of those dudes that he's athletic, but he's also strong.
Yeah,
and that could be really bad all night for them.
And outside Moses and By is Tommy Talau, who is a very, very strong runner of the ball. Got a bit of pace about him, but his hands can let him down.
Yeah, he's got a drop in him.
He's good for one or two drops every game, and he's going to be up against Josh Mansour.
Yeah, Mansour is playing really well. And you could see in a lot of the interviews he did last week, like he was talking about how much he loves the club, what it's given him in his to his life. And like you could just tell there's something about this Panthers team. And I don't know if it's because a lot of them come from the Penrith area, but they've got a real camaraderie you don't see very often. They all look like they're really enjoying what they're doing together.
Yeah. Well, that's because you've got a fair few players from the bush there too that all sort of come together at the same time as well.
Yeah. There's a heap of bush players. There's a bunch of the Penrith local juniors. And then you get like a veteran like Mansour who's been there for forever now. So it's...
And as we know, people from the country are just better humans.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
Penrith's got a great track record with people from the bush as well. I mean, their greatest ever player is Nigel Plum, and he came from the Riverina.
Didn't Roy Simmons come from the bush as well?
That's right, yeah. Second greatest player ever, Roy Simmons.
Yep.
So, yeah, they've got a great record with it. They should just relocate Penrith to, like, Orange or something.
Well, I think the Bathurst team is called the Panthers, isn't they? Aren't they?
Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah, fuck. How many places are called Panthers these
days? Don't even relocate them. Just have Bathurst made as an outer suburb of Penrith.
Yeah. Well, I've always said the Panthers could provide 2 NRL teams worth of players. We just about do. If you say you go through the NRL though, and you look at the Panthers juniors that are through the league, I reckon you could come up with 2 good teams.
Oh, absolutely.
I reckon we should do that maybe one day.
A few years ago, you could have said the same thing about the Tigers. The Tigers had all these great juniors come through. They never put them in the team. They went and signed all these other old dickheads they didn't need. But had some great juniors come through, and they let them go to all these other teams.
Yeah, we did that for a while too. To be fair,
but that's a chat that we've already had.
Yeah,
and one that we'll have in another episode.
Yeah,
so the next one. We've managed to wrap up. Get through what we're going to do and do a bit of a preview for the Fergo and the Freak
live episode.
Live episode. This was it Saturday.
Saturday, 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, check us out.
Yeah,
that'll be up on our YouTube.
It'll be good fun. I'm looking
Get
forward
over
to
there.
it.
You can join in on the conversation in the chat there, and we'll be able to see what you're saying there and give us shout outs in there. Don't forget, you can also go onto your podcast listening site, app, whatever you want to call them, and give us a review in there and a 5-star rating. That'll be fantastic. We'll read those out as well. And give us a follow on Twitter and on Instagram at FergoFreakPod. Check us out on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. And, of course, our own website, FergoandtheFreak.com.
Yeah, going gangbusters. Everyone's loving it. So many new features. Beautiful.
Check out all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And, of course, thanks to our sponsors, Manscaped.
Manscaped. For when you want a scrote that's smoother than the top of a billiard table. You know?
Or a billiard ball, even.
A billiard ball, yeah.
Because billiard tables.
You want them balls sinking into the pocket. You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And on that note, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bit of a quick episode, and we'll catch you all on the weekend.